All right. So looks like the stream is going live. Welcome back, everyone. It is a new week, new news, and new happenings. And just really quick before, because we got to bring Mike in because he's got some good stuff for us. But before we do that, as a reminder, this is us just documenting a journey. This is not financial advice. We're not making recommendations. We are just sharing what we're learning, what we're doing, and the accomplishments, and even the setbacks. So with that, let's bring up Mr. Sullivan. What's going on, Mike?
Couple different things. First of all, let me do this first. Actually, share the screen. Here we go. All right. So you guys, let me know when you can see it.
I'm seeing it.
All right, it's busy, so I'm going to get off this and come back to this in 1 second. Euro USD. Okay, so on the call this morning, remember I said I had that account that was $25, and that account is now up over $41.
Nice.
Yeah. So what I've done is Donnie's advice today when we were talking is I was in on so I was watching it. I missed this candle right here, but I got in on the pullback to the 20 right here.
Okay.
Then I got out right here. The biggest thing I've been doing is I've been moving my stop loss to a point where I think I've only lost one trade since Friday, late Friday.
Nice.
Friday morning, I got my ass kicked, and I'm going to say it like that because it was a brutal beating. I ended up shutting down trading until like 4 p.m. where I knew I wouldn't do anything unless it was solid, and I took one trade, and then I said I'm out. But I won everything except for those two trades that were back to back. That was about that 2,500 account lost a quarter of that account on two trades that it was just very. It was anti what you would expect, and I was trying to play the comeback. So there's a lot of markup here, so I don't want to get everyone going. But on Friday, like for example, I played the bounce right here.
Okay.
And then I had a stop loss, but I had my stop loss back to support the fluctuation all the way because I wanted to ride it back up. And I got killed on this candle. Then I got in here. Sorry, I got in here and rode this candle up, and then it just fell off the face of here.
Yeah.
And I got out about here because I was like, I'm not losing any more money. Like I'm done for the day. I mean, this is it. This is too low. And yeah, there's my little note. Oil just dropped below 90.
Out of curiosity, what was your lot size at the time?
One of them was 1.5, and the other one was 1. Oh, sorry, 0.15, and the other one was 0.1. So they were both significant, and that's how I lost about $750. It was about $750, and so I was like, "That's it." I'm like, "You're trying to do something. Why are you trying to buck the trend? You've been wrong twice in a row, and it's financially killed you. Get out."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "You've lost the right to trade for about the next 4 hours." And so I took away my own ability.
Mike put himself in a timeout.
I did, and it was very intelligent. But needless to say, this morning I missed this bounce. Like I was watching this last night, and I saw it, and I was like, "No, don't just play the ride down because God knows when, and then you're gonna be watching it late night. Just wait." And honestly, I should have set something to like the 4,200 mark. If at anything time it dropped below there, but I mean, look where it went down to like roughly 41.01.
Yeah, huge drop.
And then we knew it was going to bounce, and then as you can see, it started climbing. So I mean, I got in on a buy right around here and took it up to here, and then got out. And I have not re-entered gold because I'm waiting for gold to pull back towards the 20 if it does, or into this demand zone. Okay. There's a lot of markups on this chart right now, so I'm looking at it either here on the back wall here or down to here, and then I'll re-enter. If it doesn't happen, I might just stay out of that.
Yeah, I definitely like the 20 on that one. That back wall doesn't thrill me, but I mean, you look at the candle prior to, and it broke that zone, that demand zone, but it then it didn't stay down for long. So who knows?
No. Yeah, and this is where I got burnt Friday. So like in something like this right here, and this is where just my lack of skill impacted me. and something right here, like I typically play it up to here, see it hits the back wall, and then play it off, take the sell off the back wall or front wall.
Yeah.
And actually, sorry, that is what I did this morning. I took it up to here, and Donnie was talking about this, and I saw it turning around, and I thought it was going to come down to here. So I took the sell from here down to here. It was not a buy, it was a sell I did this morning. So
Okay.
I took like that sell, and then I just got out. But yeah, so I mean, but it's one of those things where what I've been doing that's very different is when I set my stop loss, I will immediately wait for it to get, let's say, north of $30, $40, let's say $30, and
Mhm.
I'll set the stop loss to an automatic stop profit. So what happened is it hit my stop loss 6 times today. And because I'm doing this, I'm trading more frequently
Mhm.
because some of these results. So that's not it. Shoot, where is it? Let me pull it up over here. Yeah, so I had wins of $46.32, $5.84, $6.92, and $21.68. Those are not big wins compared to what I was doing that last week. But and I had another one, sorry, $5.68. But by setting those stop losses, I was able to set it, walk away from it, know that this is where I want it to hit for my take profit. And if it doesn't, I still made money.
Yeah, you can't lose that way.
Right. So what the reason why I'm able to do that though is because I've been making the right decisions. Like again, like 80, I think it's 87 or 86% of the time is what it was. I should look at it. I think it went up a little bit, but I'm making the right decisions the majority of the time. So I'm able to make the decision, set the stop loss to a stop profit, not immediately, but nearly immediately, like within a minute. And honestly, if it just drops off the table unexpectedly, I just get out.
Yeah.
Like that hasn't happened to me, only beside one time. But so what Johnny had said today, and here's why I brought up Euro USD. It's on gold. I mean, on Euro USD, he was expecting this daily to go all the way up to the 200 and then see what it does.
Okay.
So I'm in on the daily for that to go all the way up to the 200. And actually, it pulled back. This is the thing. I was in this trade, and this is the second time I've been in the trade. It pulled back to the 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I got out.
Right.
And now when it pulls back below the 20 or it pulls back to the 20 again, I'll re-enter.
Yeah.
But because of that, I now have a balance of over $40 in an account that was $25 like a week and a half ago.
which is awesome. So
right.
let me ask you why, because I was at the bank, so literally I had to do some different stuff because of one of our DBAs, and they were just having a challenge, and I was just trying to make some deposits, which is always a good thing. But it took a lot longer than it should have. So I didn't get a chance to get onto Donnie's call. However, why did he think Euro? What was it that triggered him to think Euro is going to go up? I mean, I'm not seeing any marks on the chart. So
he's expecting the dollar to go down.
Right.
Yeah.
Today,
exactly.
first and foremost. That was first and foremost, and it was like a no news day. He said very little news today. And actually, if we go here, you can kind of see that. That's Friday. Let's go to today.
And I guess Trump did speak earlier, but he didn't say anything that moved the market in any direction.
Yeah, with your cold, Stephen, it gives a huge reverb on the mic.
Got it.
So it's a little tough to catch you. I'm listening deeply, but I want to. It's like, wait a minute.
What's chirping for me? Is that Bitcoin or is that oil? Oil. Not just saying oil's below 90. Yeah. So there's nothing big here today that is impacting Euro USD or gold.
Yeah. No. But what was impacting was the negotiations now between Iran and the U.S. And I expected that was going to potentially affect, which we knew something was going to happen when that ultimatum hit. because Iran can't lose their power grid.
Mhm.
It's like whether they lose the power grid or they lose Karg Island, either one we could take. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it was done. So President Trump's threats were serious, and they took it that way finally, or at this point I should say. So when the negotiations actually started and it seemed like it might be fruitful, I don't know what it's going to end up meaning in the end, if it's going to happen or not. But that change, I knew that was going to change the price of oil. I figured it was going to change the price of gold, and it would also potentially affect other currencies. So,
Yep.
you know, and especially with the euro, or let's say NATO adding in now, there's 22 countries that said that they're going to work with us on the Strait of Hormuz to make sure it gets open and stays open, which that part was great. And that was a huge turnaround. So I expected that in itself was going to lower the price of oil, but then with the negotiations happening as well, I knew oil was coming down.
Yeah, and you see right here, Mike, here's all the news that's coming out from the news and blog articles. My goodness, I said that with the biggest Boston accent ever. I do have one, but it comes out at moments. So yeah, when I catch myself, it's severe. So look at this right here, okay? Dow jumps 900 points, and Trump says U.S. and Iran have like progress talks. Right here, Iran phones Russia immediately on heels of Trump's announcement. And then there's another thing, Trump postpones Iran claims progress in talks. And there's another one right here about Iran denies there was ever talks or any progress. So all that I'm getting at is there's conflicting information and reports, and you can choose what to read, but the market is extremely emotional.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that it had a 900-point jump at the open due to quote unquote productive talks, that just shows how emotional the market is.
Right. Because the talks don't mean that. What the talks mean is that they're talking.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, now
allegedly talking.
Well, exactly. I would think that they are, because every side always postures, right?
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm just saying I am 100% of the adage. If I didn't hear it with my own ears and I didn't see it and put together like 50% of what I interpreted from my senses from seeing it, then I am just okay.
Yeah.
I kind of believe you because enough people are on board with this, but this is also brilliant propaganda if it's not. So I understand either way. It's a cautiously optimistic with regards to my approach.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, it's, you know, I look at it as it's news.
Yep.
That is certainly is market moving, but until things are fully resolved, doesn't mean a whole lot, right? I mean, it means that there might be there's a pause in certain things, but it's interesting because they said there is a pause in striking those the energy sector basically of Iran. But it doesn't say that there's a pause in hostilities. Doesn't say that there's a pause in bombing. Doesn't say there's a pause in anything other than, okay, we said we're going to bomb those, but we're going to give you a few days to, 5 days, whatever it is, for to see if these talks work out. But you're also seeing, one of the things I've caught over the weekend, and to same thing to your point, it's like, where is this news coming from, and is it real, right? Because there's a lot of talk out there about uprisings in Iran, about protests in Iran, big stuff happening there, big moves happening by the Iranian people to try and take their country back. If that happens, I mean, I personally think that would be great for a lot of places, but that's also going to dramatically drop the price of oil if that occurs.
Yep, and that's why though, like FinViz is a great site. I mean, look over here. You have sources: Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Yahoo. Is that Fox? I forget who that is right there. But I mean, you have reliable, well, you have at least well-established sources over here.
Good catch.
Yeah. Because there's definitely an agenda.
Every single one of them has an agenda. Every single one of them, which is sad.
Yeah.
Because it should just be the truth. That's all we really want, right?
It is, but their job also is to get as many eyes on it. And while I disagree with it, obviously we are much more galvanized by fear than anything else as humanity. So they understand that. And it's how they get more eyes on the screen. But yeah, and over here you have blog posts. But I mean, and the blog posts are important, and some of them do carry more credence than others. But bottom line is, it's news, like you were talking about. And why it's important for us to understand that is, as I said, we take advantage of fluctuations. Bigger the fluctuations, the bigger opportunity for us.
Right.
So if we see like a 900-point jump at the open is ridiculous. So for me, like if you hear that productive talks and you hear that prior to 9:30 when the market opens, and so yeah, that's gonna sway the market. So that's a brilliant idea to get in on pro US dollar. Now let's see, like right here, just out of curiosity. Let me get rid of this thing down here. Let me get off the daily and go hourly. 5 a.m. So right here, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Market opens right here and it goes down. It was in a ride until the market opened.
Yep.
And euro went down because the dollar went up.
Yep.
Now things have stabilized and is pushing back up. And see right here, we have the 2-week, 4 hour and 1 hour, 2-week high. But this is probably the max line, but I'm looking just to take it up to here to right now. And then I'll probably get out and then see if it wants to continue to the 66. But my focus is here.
Yep.
But right now it's pulling back on the hour. That's on I don't do the 1 minute. I will do that, by the way. If I'm looking to see, is it going to turn around? If I'm in a trade and I'm waiting to see, okay, well, how much is it turning around? I'll drop to the 1 minute. And like, for example, right here, I'd be like, well, this is a bad example, but there's 3 little candles. So this wouldn't really impact my decision. I would stay where I am. But let's say these drop down to here. Then I'm probably going to get out of the current trade and then wait for it to pull back and turn around, and then I'll jump back in because I still trust the data on the trade on the daily. I just would rather not lose half my profit.
Yeah. Oh, I can understand that one. I'm with you there. So I was doing really well because I had a very good streak going with wins, and then I have had a reverse streak that I don't like towards the end of last week, and so the account was not going in the right direction. So this week I'm looking to bring it back to where it needs to be and get much more focused on that. But it is, I think, one of the things that we've seen, because we understand technicals, or we're learning technicals. I shouldn't say we understand them. We're learning them and learning how to read those, which is what you're talking about here. But then when we go to the fundamentals, when we go to the news, it's still, because of that emotion, it's going to change. And it's going to drive the market. And I think we're going to have a lot of whiplash this week in market because of fundamentals, because of the news. And go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think you just said right. I think you were just agreeing.
Yes, right. Yes, exactly.
So I'm watching that and saying, okay, I want to be careful here. This is a week I really want to be careful from that perspective. I think, once this gets settled, and it is going to get settled, it's a question of when, right? Once this gets settled, then I think you're going to see the Dow is going to go up dramatically. It was already over 50. It dropped to like 47. And so that nearly 1,000 points at the opening this morning, not a surprise, because it was already artificially low because of the news, not because of technicals, right? News is today. News is emotion. News can drive changes, but news is today. Technicals are long term. At least that's how I view it. And so I think our technicals are very strong as a country, and I think we're going to see a lot of things moving in the right direction. So, but again, this needs to be settled first. So I'm expecting to be back over 50,000 on the down not that long from now.
Yeah.
So,
the other thing I was gonna say, the other thing I do when like in times like this is I stay like I'll use the hour for my markups, which is clearly obvious by like how marked up this screen is. And I
Yeah.
wanted to get rid. By the way, I wanted to get rid of most of this. I went through today to see how much I could get rid of, but this is all still holding.
wow.
All that information is still holding, and I was like, okay, well, you got to just let it sit. I mean, it is what it is. If it's live, it's live. It's nothing I can do with it.
Yeah.
And same thing with gold. Like, look at how busy that is.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Visually, I don't like that. So what I'll do is I'll zoom in on this and I'll just focus on my zones. But I'm not going to trade the 1 hour probably today. I'm going to use the 1 hour just for evidence, but I'm going to trade the 4 hour.
That 1 hour supply zone seems to be holding pretty well, though.
Let me zoom in again. This one right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one was only, I mean, that's from what time this morning? Or 6 p.m. last night. That's right when the market opened. So that supply zone is holding pretty well.
Yeah. So I don't, well, we'll see. I think.
And I also have to stay away from when I notice like patterns like down here.
Yeah.
It's a decent little like head and shoulders forming here. So it's just going to drop all the way down. No, it's like I have a lot more confidence in that when it's not the 5 minute. Because I originally recognized the pattern and I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. This is going to drop right here. Right around here to here, it's going to hit and it's going to drop. So we want to ride it the minute this candle is down. Yes, that would have made me a decent amount. I mean, it's 34 to.
On gold, yeah, that would have been pretty decent.
Yeah, that would have been decent, but I didn't because I'm not playing the 5 minute. Again, I'll look at the 5 minute, but I'm not playing it. So that's one of the things I've done more of too, is just recognizing patterns. But yeah, for example, like if I got in on something, let's say I got in on where we at right now, or right here. Okay. So if I got in on it right here, let's say 44.26.079.
Yeah.
I would want to set my stop loss to 44.26.5. So I'd wait for it to get up and set it to there. I'd wait to get up to a point where it's not just going to hit it and come right back and hit it right away. Just wait to get a little bit of growth and then set it to there. So at least you're in a take profit. I mean, you're in a stop profit. You're in a stop profit rather than a stop loss.
My mark was $10, but $10 isn't quite enough sometimes.
No, and I think it's difficult too, depending on what you're using. If you're using this, it's easier. If you're using GNT, I didn't see it as being as easy to set the $10 mark without doing the calculations. And right now, I'm not trying to do calculations.
Yeah.
I will at times, but I'm doing this while I'm doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm dedicating time to this, great. But I'm dedicating time to this on coffee and charts, and I'm dedicating time to this here, and I'm dedicating time to this when I mark up my charts in the morning and I get an idea what I want to do for the day. And then I'm kind of in and out depending on alerts that I've set.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like this consolidation right here, I'm not doing anything with this right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it definitely looks like it's going to consolidate for a little bit. Because we had the go back to that whiplash from this morning and from last night, just the changes and the news and how things reacted. That was all emotional, both the drop and the gain. But now it's okay. What's really going to happen? So it's going to sit there for a little bit. So we'll see. Yeah. But it's it's great because what you said. One of the things you said, I think, is a real key to your success and the success you've had so far, and that is you're learning patterns.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching what's happening, and your head is in this to the point where you're starting to recognize these things.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and what's scary, and you know this too, I was on an AI summit. Mind Valley hosted an AI summit, and I was on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
What is one of the best things that AI can do? Pattern recognition.
Yes.
So if we can have our understanding, there's going to be so many more indicators and stuff out here that's AI based, that's going to provide more intelligence and more pattern recognition and tell us so much more information, that to me, there's never been a better time to learn this, because this is about to get a lot easier.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
the human element's still going to exist because of fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that we understand the base and we have that solid foundation, and then we can just take advantage of what AI is doing. I mean, obviously, we see where it is in 2026, but I saw something remarkable the other day. It said, if you're creating anything in the AI space, it needs to be created in 2026. It's like this is really the last year where a lot of the major innovation, there's going to be continued innovation, but the people who are the first movers, who get their foot in the door with like the custom applications and the custom built data using agentic AI.
Yeah.
It's like that's coming this year, and then it's going to be to the masses. And they were talking about the salaries they're expecting people to have, because they're going to be able to knock it down to a 2 or 3 day work week, because it's just not going to be necessary to do 5-day work weeks. He's like even now, if you know how to use AI, if you're working more than 4 days a week, you're doing something wrong. He's like, now granted, if you love it, that's different because you're doing a passion project. He's like, there's no reason to work more than 4 days a week right now. If you can have AI take away easily 20% of what you're doing, that's just wasting time. And that buys back your Fridays. He's like, and that becomes a family day. And now it becomes time where you spend with friends, and it's going to only improve communication. And he's like, the social aspect of things. And without going on a total tangent there, the bottom line is what's coming down the pipe is exponential. And a lot of people, the 93% of the people are barely even using it yet. They just know of it. They use it like a search engine.
Right. It's so much more powerful.
It's ridiculous. What I did over the weekend, even, and I'm not going to go into it, but I'll explain it one of these days. Ridiculous. And like what you're doing with your brain, what you're building out too, ridiculous.
It is. Well, but I'll take that to a different level. So I was driving, right? I needed to go to Connecticut this weekend, and because I was doing a site survey for a large commercial project, and I was also inspecting a pretty large commercial project. So I was up on the roof, doing some of the stuff that I don't normally do, but it's nice to get out there and be in the field from time to time. And as I'm driving down to Connecticut, this is a 3-hour drive from my house where I was going, because I was down in the Norwalk area. And I'm telling you, most of my drive was me and Grok having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the conversation was all strategic planning for our company. Right. And because I can utilize that time.
Right.
Now I'm driving, right? So I'm doing this, but I'm having this conversation. So I'm not listening to the radio. And I can tell you the plan that Grok and I put together is going to rock some pretty cool stuff. But I mean, there's no way I could have done something. I would have had to have had a room, a car full of people that really understood where my head was and where my vision is for the company and everything that we're doing, and could have brainstormed together, right? But in this case, I didn't have that room. I was alone in the car, but I had Grok there, and literally, it was all hands-free, but it was a conversation, and I have the full plan written out. I didn't do anything but drive and talk. Right? Just think about how powerful that is. How much more productive I was for that trip. Right?
Yep.
And when we have cyber cabs and all these other, I mean, it's like there's so much that is about to change in our society so fast. Talk about whiplash, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to be wild, and it's going to be hugely beneficial for those who take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say one more thing briefly on this. Like, from a health perspective, I take supplements. My eating's okay. I don't hit the gym as much as I should have. I did, but I was a high school, college athlete, So my foundation is solid and my know-how. It's just I need to create more time in the day for me for health purposes.
Mhm.
So I typed in, here's my goal. Here's the amount of time that I've lost. Here's the amount of weight that I've lost since November. Here's what I've done with intermittent fasting. Here's this. Here's the issue I was having with my knee recently, which is, I believe, more to like lack of muscle mass and a few other things. I don't want to get knee replacement surgery because I don't think it's necessary, but I want to do this. And I said, here's the supplements I'm taking. Oh, by the way, here's the drinks that I'm drinking. Oh, by the way, I take in a leave at this time and another one at this time. Oh, by the way, I will mix in a 5-hour energy or this at this time. It came back to me. It was like, Mike, first of all, you're doing better than 95% of 50-year-olds. So kudos to you. It's like number 2, taking this at this time is wrong. This is depleting this, and these two are working against each other. Taking in a leave like this NASAID, whatever inhibitor, is actually preventing these vitamins from working properly. So you need to readjust the time you're taking this. You got to take this in the morning when you first eat. What are you having for breakfast? You need to increase this to this. So you're like this type of an eater. Okay, well, I want you eating this every single day for breakfast until you get sick of it. And it's like, and I was like, great. And we're having a conversation. I said, now provide me an hour-by-hour schedule. Now factor in my personal development. Now factor in what I'm doing from a mindset perspective. Now factor in, for 6 hours, I had a conversation. And the way I was doing everything, it was like, oh, you're doing this, but at your age, testosterone drops in males at this time. So by doing this and taking this caffeine at this time, this is actually an inhibitor. So you're actually hurting your ability to be more productive around 1:32 p.m. You can't take that at this time. You have to take this at this time. And I started doing it on yesterday morning, and it's only been 2 days. That's night and day. I'm like, are you kidding me? I literally had a conversation with my cell phone. And I mean, yes, what I'm getting at is that's just that. And it had all the information, and I uploaded all the information about all the supplements I take and provided links to their actual website. And then it's like, what about this? It said, oh, by the way, you need to add this. I said, I'm already taking this. No, that's not type. That's type 1 and that's type 3. You need to add type 2 due to this. Oh, okay. Well, how much does that cost? That cost as who do you recommend and why do you recommend it over others? Went through, this is the most cleanest this is no problem. Anything I needed. Like it was, I am more confident now about my next year from a health perspective. I'm on a different level. I'm like, let's go.
Yes, indeed.
So here's a question.
Yep.
And whether it's philosophy or theological. So the experience that both you guys had, were you actually alone? Does that definition change now?
What do you mean?
Well, Don, you were in the car when grok. Is our definition of being alone going to change?
Oh, well, I got you.
Yeah,
now you're no longer alone.
That's a deep question. Yeah. So, are we alone? Well, I mean, is there another human being there?
No, there's not another human being there. But is our definition going to change?
But there is another entity.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, so I mean, there is something else there. Robot. I mean, I can't. I've said this to people before. I can't wait. Part of my plan, I'll be integrating Optimus robots, right? And this is going to be towards mid to end of 2027 for some of the stuff that we do. What's it going to be like when I'm telling Optimus to do this? Right? I mean, is Optimus? It's a robot, but it's a thing, right? But it's different from my glasses. You know, unless of course my glasses are smart glasses and they're doing it all with me. Then are the glasses the thing, or is it on the other end? You're getting into a whole deep conversation there.
Well, yeah.
Right now, I just want to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and the thing too is that's like, you know, the thing that kept on being said yesterday over and over again by people who are making anywhere from like 500 million to billions in this industry. Mm-hmm. They said number one most important thing is it can only act like you if you train it. So give it as much information as possible. Have it listen in on your base conversation so it can understand how you interact. Have it advise you if you don't like the way you're communicating. It's like, have it do these things. He's like, now granted, some people feel like there is a little bit of freedom loss to that. He's like, well, quite frankly, you're probably not that great. He's like, there's a lot of areas that you can improve. There's certain areas where you are great, and that's phenomenal. It's like, but if you want to improve certain things, why would you not take advantage of it? And that's where I started just making sure that everything I'm doing, I'm trying to get recorded or duplicated into there so that I can have a personal assistant that thinks like me, that speaks in my tonality like me, that can write like me, and can handle situations like me, and then also recognize areas where I need significant growth and then ask for help. And the numbers that I saw about it being a lot more reliable than a lot of doctors on its ability to process and identify things, it was scary.
Well, I mean, just think about it logically. Doctors know whatever they've been trained on for their specialty and whatever experience they've had up to that point. But when you look at the data behind AI, what it has access to, especially, I'm fond of Grok, but there's a whole bunch of different models that are out there. One of the reasons I like Grok is because they literally tried to index all human knowledge, right? And by having that and being able to draw from that, it knows it has access to every modality in medicine. I don't know if I said that right, but I think we're on the same page. So instead of a doctor understanding this and trying to attack it this way, this is something that is able to look at everything from a dietary perspective. So you've got a dietitian, you've got a general practitioner, you have a cardiovascular specialist, a neuro specialist. They're all there.
Yep.
When you can pull all of that into one, that's just, you got to think about how powerful that is, folks. That's insane. How powerful.
Think about this for trading right now. Like, you're looking at the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit there and say, all right, well, I see that it's in consolidation right now, and it keeps on entering into the supply zone. My anticipation right now is that once it hits the back wall of this zone or the 50% mark on the zone above it, that would be my best entry point. But based on the pattern recognition that you're seeing over the past day, I want you to look at the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. Provide me a recommendation as to the best entry point to optimize my next trade. That is 100% legit and possible right now.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better.
It is.
That conversation is like having someone you would pay 6 figures for working directly for you.
Yeah.
So that's even more than 6 figures, because they'd be like your personal assistant, your trading assistant. And by the way, they are extremely successful with 35 years of knowledge. So you get all their knowledge plus all the analytics and all we got to really do is pay attention to the fundamentals and understand the risk management side. But the technicals, a lot of it, I think, is going to be taken away because we're not going to need it.
Right. Well, and think about it when you look at an AI from that perspective. We're looking at algorithms that we're running with Einstein and Algo Alpha and all of these others and Omni, right? So we've got all these algorithms, but you can, with what you're talking about, we can not only have an algorithm or predictive analysis, like looking at pattern recognition with AI, but you can have AI look at what's actually happening in the news and bring in fundamentals. So we're going to have a cross. We look at those E3 crosses in the trading. We're going to have a cross of fundamentals and technicals in one system.
Right. And now the source of the news and the reliability of the information becomes paramount.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. And what is this? What is that slant, right? You've got things that are slanted to the left. You got things that are slanted to the right. Look, all we want is facts. I could care less about left or right or left or whatever. I want facts, right? Because facts are what really matters.
I think it creates an opportunity, actually.
It does.
It creates an opportunity for just direct, non-partisan information.
Yeah.
But quick question, Mike. What Don's using Grok? What are you using? The same?
So I was using ChatGPT primarily until this thing happened with the government. where ChatGPT basically sold its soul.
Mhm.
And me and 2.5 million others have moved
Mhm.
off of ChatGPT to Claude. I still do pay for ChatGPT and do use it because there are some restrictions, like with regards to limitations pertaining to utilization. But what Claude has been able to do and the quality of it has been pretty phenomenal. But I don't have any of my personal information. I backed up everything and moved it over. It's really easy to do from ChatGPT to here, but I don't trust any of my information with ChatGPT.
Yeah, so I use Claude as well from time to time for different things. In fact, my brain is in Claude.
Mhm.
So Claude has some great qualities. Claude's Anthropic,
Mhm.
and if people have heard the name Anthropic, but I am leery of them doing the same thing as what we've seen with ChatGPT.
Well,
And
the fact that they gave up their government contracts because they wouldn't permit access gives me a little bit more hope. It's kind of like the old encryption thing of turning over access to phones versus not doing it.
yeah,
I was like,
hopefully, but I'm leery. So,
Yeah.
but I'm watching, and I am using it. I'm not. I mean, so here's the thing: even if you're leery, but you like the model works and does what you want it to do. Then the only thing you have to be thinking about is, okay, what do I share with it?
Yeah.
Right? As far as ideas and other things, because if I find that it's trustworthy, great, I can share more.
Yeah, and that's one of the things at the company I work for. One of the biggest things they focus on is the security of AI. So now when you talk about more agentic platforms, are people using OpenClaw where just stuff is stored locally, or are they using, let's say, Perplexity Computer,
Yeah.
which is supposedly more secure? But there are limitations about that being stored. So that's one of the things I'm behind the scenes working on a lot, is building out virtual systems that I can quickly build and turn around and fire up for people. But
Yes.
I want to tie in a trading piece. I just don't want to build out the engine because I already have too many pots in the fire right now.
Mhm.
Indeed. Well, hey, listen, folks, we went way off. I shouldn't say we went off topic. We went a little off topic, but it really, I mean, it all ties into what we're doing,
Yep.
right? So it wasn't really off topic. It was just a little deeper in a different direction. But hopefully you enjoyed the share. And if you want to join us in this quest, turning $250 into $1 million and then beyond, go to q2am.com. And just remember, everything we're sharing, these are our thoughts. These are things we're learning. These are things that we're experiencing, good, bad, whatever, in trading. But they are not financial advice. We are not making recommendations. We are sharing and documenting our journey. That's it. So with that, thanks everyone. And hey, thanks Stephen for being here, even though you're not feeling
Mhm.
great. And Mike, as always. So we'll talk.